Hello and welcome to MGP567. I'm Pab, and you know what that means. It is just a Pab and Sheepdog episode. Hello, Sheepdog.
Hello, Pabby. Yeah, it's a duo. I mean, people might have thought that they were getting away with a Pabby special there, just you recording for an hour straight on your own.
No, well, it wouldn't have been an hour straight. It wouldn't have been an hour straight.
We'd have docked your pay. We'd have taken that right out of your pay slip at the end of the month if that.
I mean, the
wasn't
episode
an
would
hour.
still be an hour long. Just be it's dead air after 10 minutes. Just let it run. People confused, going, "Hang on a minute, where's the rest of the episode?" No, that is it.
Just having your living room clock chime.
Yeah. Just hear me in the background, wandering about.
I had the ambitious aim of So I mentioned last podcast that I had a scan, and then we were waiting for the results, and then because it was okay, we were going to go on a holiday Monday. But then we were planning on booking something over the weekend, and I think Sunday or Saturday we were just like, we're both off in like 2 weeks. Why don't we just go away then instead, and not try and find something that's going on Monday morning? Just plan something for the 19th instead. So I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, and that's why I'm here now, because we realised, we could just have a chill week at home and go away that week, and so I'm going to Centre Parks on the 19th, which will be fun.
Very good. I know Kev and Anna aren't away. They're not holidaying this time. They are hard at work, moving house.
How hard do you reckon he's really? I know, like Anna, bless her, she's already not well, and you know, I don't begrudge her doing what she can. Whereas Kev, I reckon that man's probably walking around just telling other people where to put things. Surely,
no, because based on what I know, I don't. Well, he's moving everything himself so far, or thus far, to get his Lego, because he don't want people messing with his Lego stuff. Imagine all your Lego stuff. You had a load of Lego, and the movie just came in and wazzed it in a box, just all booshed and just like exploded into pieces in a box. You'd be livid. So I mean,
you're supposed to like. You pack yourself, and then you just put fragile on stuff, and you just say to them, "Look, there's like ornaments in there or whatever."
But does that happen at the thing as well? At the airports when they bounce your case around everywhere?
Oh yeah, I mean it'd be absolutely awesome. Yeah, but I mean, imagine he's not thinking ahead here either, because you could just imagine him doing a little video where he's like, "Moving day disaster," and it's just him clutching his face while there's just piles of broken stuff in the background that he's then got to spend 4 streams rebuilding. And
so you've not seen his video then?
I don't watch his videos.
Oh, so I think he put a video out. I don't know if it was today. It must have been today, because I hadn't seen it before, of him moving his Lego stuff. So there you go.
So he didn't do a dramatic "it's all gone wrong."
No, but I based on the video of what I saw briefly while I was setting up for this, seemed like some things didn't come through perfectly intact. So we'll find out next week when he's back.
That's madness. He only had to go around the corner. He could have literally picked up his Millennium Falcon and just gone running down the road, just pretending he's flying it with old Data and that in it, and Gandalf, and then put it in his room. Like,
I think it's what, based on what I saw, I think it's his Avengers Tower and stuff like that. That's quite big.
Yeah, you can't pretend that's an airplane, I suppose, can you?
It's a structural building that is like 3 feet tall at least, probably taller. So it's like you just standing that up in the car, and then getting it around and about. It probably just you take a turn slightly more abrupt than another, then before you know it's over on the all your Legos in the footwell.
Again, though, he's going like, we're not talking miles, we're talking feet here.
I mean, it's a couple of 100 feet, though, I imagine.
Yeah, but he could if it's that much of a, it would have saved him time. Imagine if he'd have picked out, walked around the corner and back, it'd have saved him a rebuild. Basically, all the minutes he spends rebuilding that, unless he's doing what I was saying and having a good old video of like, it all went wrong.
No, exactly. He's doing a rebuild stream, so it's all being rebuilt.
All right, so he is
So,
okay. No, all right. I was literally just saying he should have done that. He's doing it.
I don't.
Good
He might
lad.
be. He might be doing that. I don't know. I assume he
Um,
is, but who
he's
knows?
funny.
We'll find out next week.
He's going to sober up from this obsession at some point, and he's just going to be like, "What on earth?" You know, I'm trying to think. It was maybe pre-Pab that he was obsessed with poker.
Yes.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
doing MGP then, but he became like one of the top poker players in the world. Online poker, I mean. So there was like a tournament chart thing, and he was in the top 0.1 or 1%, whatever it was. And I kind of skirted around the edges of that obsession, kind of playing it daily online and stuff like that. And I got a little bit of money out of it, but he paid his bills for 6 months, and then suddenly was like, I don't like it anymore, and just moved on. And yeah, I've seen him kind of sober out of these obsessions and be like, "Whoa, why am I surrounded by poker chips or whatever it is?
Yeah, but I mean,
French fries. It's always chips with that man."
It's a much bigger investment. Like there's one. If he just woke up one day and was like, I don't fancy it anymore. He's got a room that is just full of it. And it's harder to. Plus, Anna's into it as well. So I mean, having something that is a group activity sort of thing, then makes it a bit easier.
I mean, we are going off on a bit of a tangent here, but I feel like Anna went, "I wouldn't mind a Lego set for Christmas," and Kev went, "If I'm buying Lego for her, that means I'm allowed to get Lego. That means there's no cap on the Lego. Let's get all the Lego." And yeah, I feel like Anna probably likes it, but this is very much a Kev going right into it. If it had been poker again, she'd have been like, "Oh, I quite like playing that now and again," and then Kev would have been straight back into the "I'm number one in the world" target that he was doing. But yeah, I just think it's gonna be entertaining when it happens. You just see him sat covered in Lego pieces, going, "What on earth? What's been going on for the past 6 months?"
Maybe.
Plus,
You never know.
I mean, it's been warming as well, hasn't it? It's been getting hotter and hotter. He's got to be careful. He's picked a bad time to get something made out of plastic that could just start melting on him.
Well,
He'll start taking global warming more seriously soon, when he'll be like, "Oh, got to protect my Lego." He's already talking about getting those special things on his windows to stop the room heating up or whatever it was.
Yeah, reflective stuff. Yeah, it's supposed to be good. That
I've been thinking about that all week, because my week has just been like, I thought to myself, "Oh yeah, this is great. I'll have a week at home, just doing whatever I want. I'll play all my games, but I'll also get all my bits and bobs done." Because I don't know if I ever mentioned on the show, but after we got the comic kickstarted and everything, I went to kind of be like, "Oh yeah, it's all ready to draw up," and then realized that some pages I'd just kind of gone, "Yeah, write this bit later," kind of thing. Like I'd made vague notes of what happened. But yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I've had to spend a decent amount of time just tidying that up, which is fine, because it's not structural in like, critical stuff. It's more getting the words right or whatever. But yeah, we're really going for it in terms of like trying to make it the best we can make it, of course. And I'm feeling like this is, writing wise, some of the best writing that I've ever done. And, my friends kind of saying like, "This isn't hit enough. We need to rewrite this." So we sit there and we really go at it. So I spent a lot of this week. I thought I was sitting on my computer for 10 minutes to just look at something or just to finish off a segment, or I'd be like, "Right, I've just written this bit up." And then we've spent like 6 hours pulling it apart and rebuilding it. And yeah, I spent a lot of my week doing that. And as I mentioned about it warming earlier, it's been very, very warm, very, very hot. But yeah, it's gone quick. I was surprised it was Wednesday already. Have you done much this week?
No, not really. No, I'm in the gym 3 times a week now.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do? Build muscle?
I say gym.
Cardio?
I say gym. I go to my dad, who's got a gym in his garage.
Oh well.
It's better than nothing though.
Well, the only gym I go in is Pokemon Gym, Pab. So you're doing better than me.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you trying
Just
to get
a
next
bit
time I see you,
fitter.
to be hench, or is it like?
I'm getting beach body ready for my holiday. I know Kev and Anna ain't going to listen to this, so.
What, are you planning on walking around Disney topless?
Well, not just a northern shirt.
Well, open.
Yeah.
Abs showing. The Pab abs.
Yeah.
We'll find out what the ABS in Pab stands for.
No. It's just to be a bit more fitter in it and stuff like that. So I've been Went to the gym and doing a bit of running. Do a bit of running now. That's about it, really. I'm trying to think if anything's been going on.
I think you need to get in the running games again. Do you remember Zombie Run and all of that? That used to be a good. I tried doing that a couple of times. I died. I got eaten by zombies every time I turned that game on. It was ridiculous. I wasn't fully sure if it was tracking me. Yeah, so like you're listening and they're talking like.
I thought it was like an audiobook.
Well, I mean, if it was, I completely misunderstood. But you know, you'd start it up and it'd be like, right, your job's to go out here today. You know, I want you to get these things. One of them's this far away, one of them's this far away, and one of them's this far away, and you've got to go pick them all up here, and here, kind of thing. And then it's like, you know, you run a kilometer, and it's like, right, yeah, you've got that, well done. Or if you weren't running it in time, they'd be like, oh, you got there and it was gone, someone else took it, or it was broken, or whatever, too late. But then midway through your run, you'd suddenly be like, oh, what's that noise? What's that noise? Oh, something's coming. And then you'd have to start like absolutely bombing it to try and get away from them. But every time I did that, it'd be like, quick, run faster. And then I couldn't get any faster. So it was just like, oh, you've been killed. So if it was an audiobook, it was a short audiobook that ended in death at different points, which means it probably wasn't an audiobook. But I feel like it would have got a lot better over time. And maybe it did. I'd look it up, Pab. I mean, I'm kind of surprised Pokemon Go's never put a running thing into that, where it's like the more you run, the more whatever happens. Because
you would think, exercise kick.
Yeah, like if they were saying to you, just go for a good old sprint and we'll auto do whatever happens, you know, and we'll track. I know that people like me would like, you know, put it on and then drive the car down the road with it just on in the other, you know, in the back or whatever. But yeah, if they found a way to make it usable, like you have to be on the path, maybe. I mean, they should be able to tell, shouldn't they? If your character's going squarely down the middle of a road on the map, then you're probably not running, are you?
Yeah. Surprised they haven't done something like that, really, because they track your steps, don't they? Within reason.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, so I get like a thing saying you've walked this far, and I like it when I go to London because when I fire it up on a Monday, it'll be like, look at how much walking you did, and then it'll give me loads of Pokemon eggs.
Oh yeah,
so I walk one, but one good one.
I'm regularly get the plus 50, whatever it is, a week now.
I only get that if I go away. Like if I don't go away, if I'm out with you lot or any of my other friends, then I'll get that. But if I am just working and then family stuff, I'll load it up and it won't. It will just be like, yeah, you didn't move. Like I don't have many reasons to walk unless other people make me. It's yeah, I need to make more of an effort, I guess.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah.
You need to do it.
Well,
we need to do it.
I'll put it in my head now. Zombie Run.
Well, yeah. So
what did I do? I had something in my head a second ago and I've forgotten it. What was I doing? What was I thinking about? It's been an absolute just right off my brain there. I went to the History Museum at the weekend. That was fun.
History Museum?
The natural one in London. That was fun.
Very good. Very good. It's good, one.
Yeah, it was cool. I went with some friends from Discord, and then while I was down there, so my family went to the beach on Monday while I just stayed home recovering from the fact that I had a busy weekend and needed some sort of, you know, quiet time. And when they got back, so when I got back Monday, the next day when I got up, my plan was I brought my son a crystal making kit where you mix chemicals and then leave it for a week and it makes crystals. And he happened to have bought a thing that you put in water that hatches into an axolotl after, like a toy one after a week as well. So our big plan was to do some experiments in the morning. But he woke me up going, while we were at the beach, we collected up some shells and I've just looked at one of the shells and I think there's a crab alive in it. And I was just like, what? And so I got this shell, put it in a bucket of water and had been like analyzing that. So we had basically 3 experiments on the go here. We were like, one was crystals, one was this axolotl hatch, and one was like, is there a crab in here? I've established it's actually a snail shell. Not that rules out anything. And I don't know what, there was some white leggy looking things inside it, but they don't seem to be moving. I think it was already like deceased and whatever. But yeah, we had a whole morning earlier in the week of just analysing the shell. I was trying to poke it with things to see if it moved because he was insisting that he'd poked it with his finger and it had wiggled, but I think he was just imagining it. Yeah, made some crystals, although it sat there looking like a little glass of wine at the moment. Nothing's really settled on it. It's just a purpley glass of wine that I keep thinking, God, I really need to buy a bottle of wine. Every time I look at it, I'm like, what if it tastes like wine? I don't want to drink crystals. If you see me and I've got crystals all over my teeth, that's why. it has made me wonder. I said to him, well, if this forms nicely, what I want to do is maybe try and find a little figurine to drop in a cup, pour all the stuff over it, and see if I could just make like a crystallized version of something. I think it would look quite cool if I just started making little crystal figurines or ornaments or whatever, out of plastic, whatever. Yeah, I want to see how it goes. I think that'd be funny. Or fun. I mean, funny's the wrong word. It's not going to be. No one's going to laugh at it.
That sounds interesting if it'd work. Yeah.
I don't know whether it settled to it or what, but I just said to him. I mean, he was like immediately like, "No, you can't put my toys in this." And I was like, "Who said your toys? I'm talking about just objects, But yeah, I need to start thinking about things to drop in crystal, and I don't know. This is what I end up doing. Every time I get something, I'm like, Kev and I were talking about deep fat fryer and just dropping food into that to see whether it would fat fry, or when we got an air fryer, it was like, can I put a whole egg in it and then peel the egg afterwards? I don't think I actually ended up doing it, but when I got what are they called? I want to say super soaker, but that's not what I meant. Soda stream. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to know whether you could like fizz coffee, fizz milk, what would happen? Just
not supposed to,
fizzy gravy. Well, no, it does say on it like don't. I mean, it doesn't say don't use gravy. It doesn't officially explicitly say that, but I just thought, could you imagine doing a roast dinner and putting the gravy down, everyone's pouring it on their food and it's just fizzing like Pepsi, and they're like, "What's going on?" I bet it would catch on. but it'd be really nice. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I can get onto gaming if you want to.
Tell you what I did. Now I'm gonna admit, no, I've
Go
got
on.
someone. Speaking of toys, I've been out of the pop vinyl game for a while. I've still got them. I just don't buy them anymore.
Yeah, I'm the same. Mine are on my shelf, and I keep thinking about putting them upstairs on the shelf in the landing.
I've got too many. Mine are under the bed in the spare bedroom because I have that many of them. But I've come across a handful of them. Handful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 7 or 8. Found them in a bin at work. Someone was getting rid clearly, and I've acquired some more. I've suddenly acquired a handful more now.
What ones were they? Binned them? Were they? I mean,
I've got 2 Harry Potter ones that a friend wants.
I almost said, was it Harry Potter?
I've got 2 Harry Potter. I've got no, I've got a My Hero Academia one, which I haven't got a clue what that is. So
that's surprising. Like, my daughter was really into that, and I watched it because she told me it was good, and I enjoyed it. And then I got Ollie to watch it, and she was clearing out her room and was like, "Ollie, do you want all of these My Hero Academia pop vinyls I've got?" And so he's got like, I don't know, 2 or 3 on his wall and some other bits. But it's still relevant, and people, it's still on, it's still going. I think I've got a feeling the manga just finished, so I'm surprised that they've maybe it ended badly and they're just
I don't know. It's one of them. Despicable Me 3 one. Those are the ones that I'm not keeping. The other ones I'm keeping is a Borderlands 3 one. I'm looking at it now. It's Lilith. Did not, and a BB-8. I've got a BB-8, which I thought I had a BB-8, but it turns out I don't. And then I've got a Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, and that is the one that is worth some money.
That's surprising that they wouldn't like Google it before they binned them, isn't it?
I mean, some people you buy them, don't you, at the time when you want them, and then they're just moving out of places. Most of these things come from like people moving out and just kind of go, right, we need to get rid of a load of crap, and then just clear shelves out and just chuck it. And that one's worth about 50 quid. So that's it. That's the only one that's worth anything of any decent money. So I kept that. Was the only one I was keeping. But
was it in its box or?
Yeah, they're all in boxes. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
All in box. So
you should bang that online. See if you can get 50 quid for it. Then
I'll be honest with you. I should have banged all of mine online 2 years ago. My empire is crumbling, price wise.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I had a collection worth over $5,000 at one point. It isn't worth that now.
I always felt bad because like Anna got me the first one I think I ever got was Anna bought me a Sonic one, and she'd got it as like oh yeah, I thought, you like Sonic, here you go. And then a few months later, when you and Kev I think were talking about the value of them, I looked it up and they'd stopped selling it, so it had gone up to like 400 or 500 quid. And Anna was like, well, don't sell it. And I was like, well, I mean, I'm going to put it on Amazon or whatever the shop was for that amount, and no one's going to buy it. And it sat there for, I mean, I never sold it because it never got bought, but that sat for sale for so long. But I think I should have done that with all of them, really, that were worth anything. Because, again, I'm just wanting to shove them upstairs in like a shelf in the hallway now, just so they can be there. But it feels weird to me that that become a whole thing, doesn't it? Like, I don't know.
It's like I say, I've got like a top 10, and I mean, I've got a Bart Simpson that is vaulted, that like the original run of Simpsons ones that were vaulted, and it's worth probably about 500 quid. And I keep sitting there going, should I get rid of it? I was like, I don't, but there's nobody online selling them. They're not available to be sold. So I'm like, I mean, just keep hold of it. Will it stay?
Well,
will it go higher?
If there's no one selling them, you could put your own price on it. You could start the bidding at 500
Oh no,
quid.
but it's also what people are willing to pay for it. But I've got another one. Actually, no, the Wolverine one. They probably should be getting the Wolverine one sold at the minute with the hype. But I've got a Wolverine one which I paid probably 50, 60 quid for. That's probably worth about 400 quid right now. That's another one that they don't make anymore. But
at the very least, Pab, you should get them all appraised for insurance purposes, just in case some little scoundrel knocks on your door because they know you live next to a dentist in Bolton and then half inches them all, and then you've got to put in an insurance claim for all the value of those.
Yeah, I mean,
very expensive bits of plastic.
I think they'd be scrambling to get the televisions before they take a bunch of toys under a bed.
I mean, that's for the insurance company to decide, Pabby, when it's all been taken.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing. They're obviously a pop vinyl specialist.
Yeah.
I'm getting at this because I'm sure I've said it on the podcast before, but whenever I see an article on the news where it's like, man had biggest Mega Drive collection of games worth £25,000 and it all went up in flames, I'm like, oh yeah, I bet it did. I bet it bloody did. You know, he's got every Super Nintendo game that was ever made, and then would you know it? Would you Adam and Eve it? The whole house went up, and I'm like, oh yeah, and what's he done with the money? Has he replaced? No, oh, he spent the money on a holiday, did he? Oh, yeah, that's a surprise. That'd be you in your northern shirt with your abs out on the papers, looking all glum because your 20 grand pop vinyl collection went up in flames mysteriously.
That's the problem. I wish it was that kind of money. Like I say, it's come down dramatically from what it was a few years ago. I think the bubble has burst on pop vinyls, and I didn't get out while the highs were as high as they are.
I mean, I don't think you were. I mean, you might have been. I personally weren't treating it like a
no, I wasn't. But it's once I saw the value of them, and like when you see because it's all in the Funko app. You can like add.
When you know in the back of your mind,
when you see the value of like your collection, it has a price next to it. And you're like, oh, well, and I got all the pop protector like little plastic boxes for them for the ones that are worth something. I was like, I better keep hold of these and keep them in good condition. So
I know what you mean. You sort of act like you've got an asset of that value in the back of your mind a little bit, don't you? You know, like, I could liquidize my assets. Was that what you were thinking to yourself?
Well, I said I don't necessarily want to get rid of them, but also I do want to get them just to make some room and
I was like, I want the shelf back now. You know, I could see that the one I said as well, something's still going for around sort of 350, 380. I mean, I literally typed it in and saw two are going for nearly 400. I thought, yep, that'll do. I'll liquidize that at some point.
You still got that thingy one that I got you? Your Tobias one?
Yes, I have. That one
that one I imagine isn't cheap now.
It wasn't at the time. It had done well.
Yeah.
When you said that, because you got me a South Park figurine as well, didn't you, at one point? And I was like, that's not pop vinyl, but yeah, you got me like a Chaos, Butters as Chaos. But yeah, we've turned this into a Funko podcast all of a sudden, haven't we?
I mean, people also realise we're in the middle of summer where the game releases are sparse, and we aren't the best of podcasts for providing all the latest and greatest stuff, and so we have to fill at least
I mean,
some
no,
time
well,
with
as far as I'm
something.
aware, no one's complaining.
No.
Tweet at RB6K if you are. But I mean, also, like, I don't know, the reviews haven't changed in ages on here. So hopefully, if anyone wants to give us some positive reviews on all of the different apps, why not go and do it?
Yeah,
If you fancy
do
doing
it,
a
and
negative
then
one, don't do that. Just like yell that one into the ether, or scream it into your pillow or
scream
something.
it into RB6K on Twitter.
No, I mean, I don't want to hear it. But yeah, if you wanna, send us some love, it's all on there. I forget we used to ask for them every week, and I feel like we haven't asked for that in a long, long time.
Well, if you do it this week, Sheepdog will give you a shout out next week. He'll check it and give you a shout out next week.
I mean, I might forget, but like, let's say yes.
I'll remind
I will.
him. I'll remind him before the show starts. Get the reviews up.
I was just trying to see if I could actually find out how you get bloody reviews up on there, so I can be like, oh, so and so reviewed us at this, but no, I can't. The app's changed. I ain't been on the podcast app. Would you believe I haven't listened to a podcast in a long time?
Really?
Yeah, no, I used to listen to them all the time, and now I just don't. Just doesn't happen. God, our last review was a year ago from Scooby Mad.
There you go.
Easily their favorite podcast. There are other podcasts, but this one is their favorite.
There you go.
Hosts gel together well and are both funny and knowledgeable. Knowledgeable, okay. They also feel so relatable. Keep it up. Yeah, so I'm not going to sit there. This wasn't intentional. Like, I'm not going to sit here and look at this person talking about us. Isn't that lovely? I mean, again, people know by now 500 or whatever episodes. We don't pre-plan. I literally made notes of what games I wanted to cover off this week for the first time in about 300 episodes, just because I wanted to. I didn't want to forget.
We don't pre-plan. I pre-plan every week.
Well, no, all right. I meant
going back to my first pages on this book from 2015, episode 190.
What, you've got your written notes from episode 190 through to 500?
That's not even the start of the book, because that is all my E3 notes at the start of the pages from that year. And then, 190 is the first episode I've got written down in here.
That, Pabby, you could be like,
It's just a bunch of scroll, if I'm honest with you. It's nothing of any value.
I mean, you read the books that Kev and I released. They're a bunch of scroll.
Anyway.
You could turn that into our Wikipedia page, at least. That'd be a little project for you.
But this is show notes from me, though.
Yeah,
eventually it would become show notes for the entire show, because then it's there's a certain point where I took over the editing, so I had to make notes of everything that was being spoke about in every week. You know what I mean? So I
Kev slurs and stuff.
Well, when to cut things, and basically all the different games that were on there, so I could put them into the show notes and stuff like that of what is going on and the titles. So I did have to start making notes of everybody's stuff. At some point.
Struggled spelling Neopets, I assume, and couldn't get that one written down.
I don't put it in there because it's not 1998.
Yeah, but it's going through a mega resurgence, and people are looking for it online a lot. And
by
so they might see
you alone,
and be like, "Oh, a podcast talking about." I mean, part of me, Pab, if you really want to know, was hoping that the Neopets team might be like, "Oh, a podcast talking about us. Oh, I wonder what they're saying. Oh, this guy likes us. He's talking about us. He's trying to encourage people to join us. Maybe we should give him some sort of extra Neopets privileges that we reserve for super special people." It was all a bit, Pab. It was all an angle. It's like when I was calling out Chris Akabusi because I wanted free, training to become an athlete like him.
No, that work out for you.
I mean, am I or am I not an athlete, Pab?
I don't know for certain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I become a very private man, just like him, who, he doesn't respond to many tweets publicly.
Respond to you shouting him in the street. Chris.
He will one day. One day we'll meet. One day. But yeah, okay, right. I do have so obviously it is quiet time of games, but obviously at the same time I don't play every game that comes out. So I was like, oh, I've got a week. I'll try and catch up. This will be great. I started trying to get a bit of headway on Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and Marvel Midnight Suns. I was very much like, it's too hot to play in this room. I don't want to play at my PC. Which I imagine everyone's struggling with at the moment. I was just, I don't want to have to sit here and either have my speakers on loud and then I can't hear it because the kids are being noisy, or headphones on and that'll be even noisier. So I was trying to figure out what to do instead. So I I've been getting a bit bothered with myself because I've got my PS5 and
Mhm.
I got PS Plus, and I cancelled it recently because I was like, I'm not using this. I had a little look through, and for myself, I got the Final Fantasy VII remake DLC, the Yuffie stuff, through it.
Yeah.
And I think I got like they might have been included anyway. Actually, I was going to say the Spider-Man sort of upgrade to a PS5 version, but it might have already just been automatically given to you. Beyond that, I had it for over a year before I cancelled it, and I got my wife Guardians of the Galaxy on PlayStation when it was already on Xbox for free. So I just kind of we happened to get it on that one. I got my son a game where you fly around as a bee. And I think I got like Abe's Odyssey or something like that. Yeah, it must have been Abe's Odyssey from PlayStation 1 era. And that is like 130 quid's worth of PS Plus. And I probably didn't even get like 40 quid's worth of it. I was like, I'm such a moron. So I was like, I need to put this console to use because I'm not playing it as much as I should be. The other games I've got, I've owned or whatever. I couldn't find anything on PS Plus because it suddenly wasn't working. I was relying on that. I was relying on having something installed. And then me being an idiot, I started thinking, well, I haven't. Turns out, Pab, that I've only ever played about like 6% of Red Dead 2. And Anna was talking about it recently, wasn't she? I thought I'd played more than this. I feel like I'm going to log into that and it's going to have lost some of my save because my save was on my PlayStation 4, which I don't own anymore. I know, yeah, I do. It's upstairs. Okay, oh, that's interesting. I can. That's saved me a bit of hassle because it may be that the save's just not
gone into the cloud.
Yeah, but I thought, oh, that'll keep me busy. That'll be a nice, fun game to play that I could just sit in an evening and ride around being a cowboy. That'd be great. And so I put the disc in to install it, and it just didn't stop installing ever. Like, I think the universe will burn out before that game finishes installing. It's ridiculous. It had been going like half an hour and it was only about 6% installed from the disc. I thought that can't be right, can it? Like, I don't know what was going on. It eventually did install, but by that point, but after about 15%, I was like, well, I can't do this. So I went on Xbox and was like, right, find something on Game Pass. Let's put Game Pass to use. I ended up downloading Celeste, but not playing it because I want to play that when the kids aren't about. Because a friend of mine did a comic, just completely organically made a comic for Twitter to put out as part of their they make comics, and every single response was like, "This is the plot of Celeste. Is this fan art for Celeste?" And they were like, "No, I just made it." And they're like, "But it even looks like the game. What do you?" And that was very entertaining to me because it had like over 100 replies from randos being like, "This is a Celeste picture," and they were like, "No, it's genuinely just a picture about like mental health. That's all it is." Anyway, so I was like, "Oh, I haven't played that. I'll play that. It was meant to be really good." So I downloaded it but didn't start it. I then went through and was like, "Oh." So I've been watching Drive to Survive on Netflix. It's a Formula One sort of documentary drama thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, there's Formula One games. I could get one of them." So I go to start that, and my Xbox is like, "Hey, I'm full." And I'm like, "What do you mean you're full? Like, I've only got like a few games installed. What the hell's going on here?" I had a bloody look, and I've shot myself in the foot here because Ollie's got a Xbox in the office where I work. And that's where he has his Fortnite and his this, that, and the others, whatever. And I wanted him to go play in the other room. And so I got Fortnite and everything on there. But his games are like 75 gig, and then another one's like 20 gig. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So he's literally eaten up my entire hard drive, him and Ben. So I literally didn't have any more space. I need to just get a hard drive for us. So I'm like, my PlayStation's installing Red Dead. My Xbox is full, and the boys are refusing to let me delete anything. So I was like, right, I'll have to play on the Switch then. So I'm there like, I think the Xbox was still doing so. I think it was updating bloody Fortnite with a 9 gig update.
Right, yeah.
So I had Red Dead installing, I had Fortnite downloading, and I'm like, I just want to play some damn games. So I ended up putting the Switch on and thinking, right, I'll finish Mario Wonder. I got to the end of that. Like, I didn't kill Bowser, I didn't do the last sort of world. It took me like half an hour to find that because bloody children keep, discarding my games. Once I found it, put it in, My youngest was like, "Can I play?" And I was like, "Oh, you can always play as like what's it called, Nick It, the character that doesn't
Nabbit.
doesn't die,
Yeah.
Nabbit. That's it." I was just like, "Okay, this is going to be fine because I'll play the game as normal. It'll be Nabbit, and yeah, it'll be great. He'll just feel like he's achieved something big. He'll feel like he's defeated Bowser. This is going to be really cool. This will be great." I mean, I made one mistake in that I thought I was using my good controller, but I'd actually dug out the broken one, and that took a little bit of figuring out. But this game, I really like Mario Wonder, and I've reviewed it very positively in the past. But I hadn't played it with a 6-year-old before, and it's got a fundamental flaw that I genuinely don't understand why on earth they would do this.
Yeah.
So I was player 1, he was player 2. If I tried to go forward and I don't know, accidentally made a mistake, because it's quite a hard level, it's the Bowser's bit, right? It's like the last world. If I had died, it would switch power to him. I'd come back to life, but then I would only be able to move forward when he moved forward, and the camera would follow him.
You're in like a bubble, aren't you? And then he takes
even if you pop out the
priority,
bubble,
doesn't he? Yeah.
He's got a crown on then, and he's in charge.
Yep.
Now you can press the back buttons to give you make yourself into a ghost mode and back again, and the crown comes off you and goes on to another person, which is useful to know. But he's not doing that because he's 6, and he's like, "No, I want to play it. I want to keep it. I'm fine. I know what to do." And he's jumping off the edge and ended up in trouble. And I'm trying to progress the game, and he's not listening and coming with me. So all that ended up doing was sending my blood pressure through the roof because he was insisting on the fact that he could do it and he was fine and all of this. We tried everything to just because we cancelled the level because we couldn't do it, and then it gave him the power over the world map, and I could not navigate anywhere. And he's just like, "No, I'll do it." And I'm like, "I want to just have a quick look around." It was just, it was insufferable. And I was like, there must be a way to be like, I'm playing with a kid. Let me take this back. Don't ever give it to the kid again. But as far as I could see, there wasn't. Google had no results for me. I feel like
there isn't a solution for it, Sheepdog. And I mentioned this when the game came out, and I did play with my nephew, and they had the same issues again, where you end up, having to. You're kind of like playing 2 games at once, and you're not playing the Mario level. You're more like micromanaging second player.
Because I'm like, go right. You need to go right. We need to go up there to the top. I can't get to the top because you haven't jumped with me. And he's like, I can't time my jumps. I'm like, well, you have to. We have to get to that top bit. And it's like, I don't know, because I'm at the start of all of that, I'm talking in a very like, come on up here, blah, blah, and he's being like, oh, I'm not making a mistake, and I'm like, I didn't say you were, I just want you to do it, kind of thing. But eventually, he's starting to be like, stop telling me what to do. I want to play. And I'm like, the game is to do what you're being told to do, because otherwise we can't progress. This is the puzzle. I've solved it, or I'm telling you this is the route. And yeah, some of it I was like, which way do you want to go? And trying to give him a bit of like, oh, what should we do? But in the end, I just said, why don't you play with your mum for a bit? And I went in the other room, which, to be fair, she was then like, oh, why don't you play with Ollie for a bit? And then they ended up having a blazing row between them, the boys, and I had to go and interject and turn it all off. But I was like, why aren't Nintendo thinking this through? The big problem they had with the one before was if you played it 4-player, the characters all bumped into each other, and there was a lot of levels where it was like single block stands, and if you jumped on it, you were knocking your player off. And I remember that was me and my wife playing that, and we'd be constantly like, what are you doing to each other? We're like, well, you've knocked me down now. And it was just impossible to coordinate on. I feel like they need to get this right. They need to actually think about this, because the game would be so good if you could just play it like normal Mario, but there'd be more of you on there. Unless I'm just misunderstanding the intent and they don't want parents to play with their kids. I thought that was the point of having a Tails or a Luigi, that a kid could just run alongside you and do things.
Or a Nabbit who can't die. You think, well, you think that one is geared toward. But that's also a mistake in itself. Because also, nobody wants to be Nabbit. The kids want to be Luigi. They want to be Princess Peach or what have you. They don't want to be this no-name character that is invincible. They want to make the characters they want to be invincible, rather than
it's a weird
force them to be this little weird rabbit-like creature who looks a bit weird.
I got admit that my wonder was like, well, where's Nabbit been all this time? Why ain't he the one who's saving the world? Mario has to die 90 times just to go and get whatever back, but Nabbit could be the hero that the Mushroom Kingdom needs, and he's just phoning it in. He's rocking up in this one game out of nowhere. But no, you're right. I think Luigi should be wearing Nabbit as a hat and making him him invulnerable. Because that's exactly what my son was like. I want to be Luigi. And I was like, well, you can if you want, but if you're Nabbit, you can't die. And he was like, oh, go on then. But he was like, Luigi or Yoshi were the ones he wanted to be.
Yeah.
I'm a bit miffed they don't give Yoshi the powers. I thought it would have been cool to see Yoshi with like a fire flower. White.
That's right. They don't get the powers, do they? No.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a shame. But it became too rock hard to play. So I ended up sacking it off and giving it up. And it really kind of put me out of what I wanted to do. I was like, I don't really know what to. I'm in a bit of a weird. I'm in my usual funk, but I feel like normally this time of year I'm struggling because I don't know what I want for my birthday, and I've actually been quite good with that because I know that I want Baldur's Gate 3, which I'm going to chat to you about in a moment. I want Cult of the Lamb because a friend of mine's told me that's excellent, and I haven't played that yet. And while I was looking that up to add it to my wish list on the Nintendo store, I saw that I had a game called In Stars and Time, which I don't know whether you told me about this or what, but it was on my wish list. When I read about it, it was like a time travel game, and it looked pretty cool. So I've put the 3 of them on my wish list so that I've got them to talk about at the end of the month when I played them all. I'm just seeing if I can get a quick summary of In Stars and Time. It was a 2023 role-playing video game. I don't know why I said that last bit. Time looping RPG. Each loop, they gain new perspective on the world around them, and it opens up new solutions to puzzles and so forth. So, yeah, I just figured it would be interesting to play. It was on sale, although, as I said to you on Twitter, all the sales end next week, and I didn't know. So I'm confused because I said to my family I'd like to get Baldur's Gate 3 for my birthday. I don't want it on PC because I don't have to sit at the computer. I feel like buying a big game like that for my computer, for my PC, is where games go to die. Then I've got. I remember this every week when I'm talking on the podcast and then forget it at the moment we've stopped recording. But I've got Cyberpunk installed on my computer. I haven't even touched it. If anyone's listening who wants to remind me, like during the week, not on a Wednesday, that I own Cyberpunk, I'll try and bloody play it because I forget every single time I log off. Well, it's mainly because when I go to play on my PC, I end up playing the 2 games I've got going already. But the point is, I've got a few games installed on there that I could play, and I just don't. But then someone told me to get it on the PlayStation because you get a big screen anyway, and Kev had confirmed it was fine to play it. So then I was looking, and you can't buy it anywhere. It doesn't have a disc version yet. It's coming later, but it's a deluxe, expensive version. And it looks like you can only buy it in the PlayStation store, and you can't buy gifts, you were telling me, which I didn't really realise. Shows how often I buy people gifts, eh?
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing. I don't think you can... Because... no, I don't think it's a thing. You literally go on the store and you're signed into your account, and then the second you buy it, you add it to cart and pay for it, and then it's like the option is download. It's not like it's a purchase as a gift sort of thing. Can it not just get you like PSN credit then?
Well, so that was your answer at the time, and I said they can do, but the problem I've got is that it's like, I mean, it's not a problem. It's not a big deal, but it's like a tenner off at the moment, and I just thought...
Well, get it. Just tell them to give you the credit early. You're not 12 where you got to wait for your game to get you your birthday present a week early. Tell them you're not going to play it, but just do it that way, Sheepdog.
I'm a grown man. If I ring my mum and say, can I have this game 2 weeks early because it's on sale?
No, say I want the credit now because it'll save you money. Then they're more inclined to go, okay. You say you can either buy it in a 2 weeks time for me, and it's going to cost however much, or you can buy it now, and it's going to save you £10. Would they rather have that £10 in their own pocket? Or are you just going to go? You just tell them it's the same price anyway and pocket the tenner yourself?
I mean, if they're saving the money, I'm expecting an extra gift pad, if I'm honest. But, I just, I know what I'm like. If I've got it, I'll be playing it now, and then I'll be annoyed with myself that I didn't wait.
Tell them just tell them you want money. tell you what money, and then buy it for yourself, and then there you go.
Well, then they pay me back. Like,
Reimbursed
then,
it. It's like reimbursed.
It's not too
yourself.
shabby. But isn't it weird though that you can't? Because you can on Xbox.
Can you?
Yeah,
I didn't know you could do that on Xbox.
My parents have bought. I mean, hopefully the listeners will be listening, going, "You can, Pab, you can," and then they'll message.
I mean, I might be wrong, but I just don't. I've never seen an option. I know it's a thing you can do on Steam, but Steam's.
I tried looking
beast.
for it and couldn't find it, so I definitely have like Googled how to gift a game on PlayStation or whatever, and the instructions were very like it wasn't really it's that annoying Google thing where it just makes up an answer basically that it thinks it's pulling from a website.
Yeah, it's using AI to provide an answer for you, which is nonsense.
So that was a bit of a bum because I mean, either way, I know I'll have it. I just didn't want to rush it. I wanted to kind of. I'm not even going to be here the week of my birthday. I'm going to be away, like I said. So maybe it's Centre Park, so it'll be the week after that I'll have to play that. But anyway.
Well, get them to give it you a week early then, or this week.
That might be my justification.
Just say I'm saving you some money here because it's about to go off sale, and I can't get it any other way other than you've got to figure this out, Sheepdog. Don't overpay for something that you can get a week early, and then possibly, like you say.
I also just wondered like where else even sells it, because if it's just surely it can't just be the Baldur's Gate website, which doesn't have it apparently. Like,
well, it's because it all goes through marketplaces, doesn't it? So PSN is. I don't think there's any PSN store like code sellers or something like that. I don't think there's people sell codes for games on PSN these days. I know they do on Xbox, but it's few and far between. I'm actually looking now.
Because obviously it's coming up with Steam ones left and right, so I am making this more complicated for myself. I did see that it's on Xbox, but as we've established, or is it?
Yeah, it's cheaper on.
But as we've established, I don't have the bloody drive space, and also
there's that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I also just thought my PlayStation obviously goes to a higher resolution. I don't know. I'm assuming it'll look good than my little Xbox. I'm sure there'll be something. Listeners, it'd be really useful if you could.
When's the sale end?
God, I can't remember now. I'd have to be fair, if I said it in the tweet to you, it says there, but it was not long away.
You think about it, it's by the time this comes out, it may have already ended.
You're a wise man, Pabby.
So we might be talking into the wind here because there's no point. Summer is it in the summer sale? Is that what we're saying?
I guess so. I'm trying to look through.
I'm scrambling through all this, seeing if there's anything that doesn't tell me anything of when it is actually 20% off as well. Sheepdog. That's substantial. 20% off is quite a lot. I'm looking on it, seeing it doesn't tell me when the deals end. So who knows? But
wherever I was, it said like I want to say the 14th, but I don't know that that's right.
14th, yeah, 14th for the 8th. Offer ends 14th.
See, I don't normally remember things. I feel like I've done all right there.
Well done. So we've got a week to do it. So
I'll have a harebrained scheme between now and then. I reckon I've got it in me. Maybe I'll find an elaborate way.
It's a good discount as well, to be fair. It's a good discount for a game that's very good. And who knows, Sheepdog, you talking about it might spur me into actually playing it, because I've had it since January, and I spent half an hour in the character creator and I was like, this is a bit much, and then turned it off and never went back.
I feel like a monster because I don't think I've ever spent more than like 3 minutes in a character maker.
It's not even honest to God, it's not the character creator like to make your face what you want your character to look like.
It's the boobs, is that what you're saying?
It's the attributes, like it's all the skills, what kind of character you're playing, and all the different. You put points into all these different things. It's like a D&D game where you're making a character.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it is a D&D game.
Yeah, it's like you've got to put all these points and stats and attributes and all these different things to make certain classes of characters and races and all these different types of thing. It's a lot like the character creator bit where you're making what they look like is kind of pointless to me because I'm just going to whack an helmet on them anyway and it doesn't make any difference. So,
it's dangerous. I've just had a look on my account and it's already in my basket, and I'm like, it must be where I looked the other day. I'm removing that so I don't accidentally end up buying it for myself.
Buy it for yourself and reimburse yourself in 2 weeks' time. And then yeah, that's the only way to and then
Is this how adults celebrate birthdays, like bloody accountants?
people do. No, but people don't like. Just tell them this is what the situation is, and they'll go, "Oh yeah, I'll get it, then." You know what I mean? People aren't. You're not going to go, "No, your birthday's in 2 weeks and you'll not have it before." And if not, like I said,
I mean, yeah,
like
they wouldn't do that, to be fair, but no.
Like Kev suggested, just give them your PlayStation and let them wrap it up. There you go. You got a physical gift to give to.
Oh, hang on a minute. I might actually still have PlayStation. I'm on the app, right? And it's telling me that I can get the games for now on PlayStation Plus. And I'm like, hang on, am I on this or not? Because it was telling me that I am, but then actually I can click it. It might make me.
As soon as you click it, it'll go.
Oh, yeah, no, it does. I was going to say, because Ollie got all excited because there was loads of Five Nights at Freddy's stuff on there, or Security Breach was on there, and he hadn't played that. And I was just like, well, I ain't falling into the trap again of spending another 32 quid for 3 months of it and then not getting any games. If I can get him to start paying for it for me, I'll be quids in. That might be the new deal. But yeah, I mean, that is my gaming week. I feel like I've somehow managed to not play anything and still talk about games for a square half hour there. So I'm sure you've got absolute tons of games to be talking about. Have you, Pabby?
2.
Oh,
2 to be precise. And
how many in a fortnight?
No, that would be 3, but I'm not going to bring up Fortnite. We're nearly at the end of the season now. We've got another couple of weeks, I think. No, 16th. When's 16th? Next Friday is the last day of the season. So there you go. That's when the end of the season happens. And no, I can give you a Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree update. Like I have been doing. I'm on the final boss now. I've reached the final boss. I can't beat the final boss. It seems near impossible to beat the final boss.
You think people would be more vocal about this game being hard?
Yeah, you'd think, wouldn't you? It's one of them where I've done it. I haven't done it. I've probably done it maybe 20 times, maybe now at this point. But I need to look up how to do the boss because I just more often than not I get into the boss room, and then he charges at you and then one shots me, and it's that bad that my runes aren't even in the boss room. When you in these games when you die you drop all your runes and you go and pick them back up. And normally when you're in a boss room, they end up in the boss room. You go back in and they're in there again for you to pick up. But I'm dying that quick that I only just get through the door. They're still on the other side of the door. I'm like knocked straight back through when I die. It's that it's instant. So yeah, it's one of them where I'm just scrambling around trying to figure out methods and ways of doing it, and I've managed to get it to the second phase once. But that's about it. I need to look up a video on like mage builds that work for this boss because I don't know how to do what I'm doing. So we'll see.
You need to YouTube the fight. Although
I've seen the fight. I've seen the fight in many different ways. But like long before I got to it, I was looking at other people doing it.
It's never helpful when you watch some kid just doing it unscathed.
It doesn't help when everyone I've seen doing it is all like sword builds. You know what I mean? I'm not swords. I'm magic build. I've never seen anyone do it in a magic build before. So I know it's out there. I've just not looked it up because it's not really interested me until this point because I just thought. I'm also on 321 now, by the way. I'm level 321.
So if you're that many levels up, can you not have had I mean, again, I said about the character thing where I don't make characters for an hour. I also never really end up. I mean, maybe Mass Effect, I just stuck with one specific like focused kind of class, but I don't tend to do that. I tend to be very like broad with what I'm. I try and just go for either maxing it all out if that's possible in the game, or just broad and every man as possible, jack of all trades. But is it quite hard for you to say, right? Well, okay, this could be better if I was using a sword at that level.
You need like I can carry certain swords. but you need strength and dexterity, I think, for those sort of like sword weapons. You need strength and dexterity. My stuff goes into faith and I want to say, is it arcane or something like that? I have two things that for magic users. I have those two abilities. So it's usually people go one way or the other with these abilities. You either go for strength and dex to be able to use these big swords.
But are you not just like piling on so many points in them now that the difference it's making is minimal, and you could have been putting those points in dexterity to get massive gains?
Yes and no, because I haven't put anything else. I'm 18 those two stats that are for magic users. I think it's faith and something else, and I haven't touched them again since. So now all I've been doing is putting it into my FP, which is your mana, effectively. Mana and health, pretty much, are the only things I've been putting my points into.
And you're still getting one shot, so that's.
This boss is ruthless. This boss is absolutely ruthless. My friend of mine who's been playing it kind of in tandem with me has been on this boss for at least a week, maybe 10 days now at this point, and he hasn't beat it.
Don't have no option like being invisible, so he can't see you to hit you.
No, so I found a build. I saw a video on beating him without even fighting him. I was like, I saw that title and I went, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. This was last week, I think, when I saw this. I was like, I'm intrigued. And this involves a big stone golem as one of your summons, and you can bring him in. And because he's he's pretty much a tank, because he's a stone golem. He's quite hard. He's like quite sturdy and hard to defeat. So then once you bring him in, you let him do the fighting, and you stand in the corner. Just there's a spell called Heal from Afar.
So you just keep the golem alive.
You've got to keep the golem alive. It's a slow process. But the video was like 25 minutes long. The fight would probably last maybe 10 minutes at the most if you were fighting him normally. So it's a real slow slog because he's not powerful, but he's just chipping away at this boss. And the boss is going ham on him, just beating the hell out of him. And I'm over there going, nope, stay alive. The only reason I didn't do any better in that is because I didn't allocate my flasks correctly. I ran out of mana flasks because I just wanted to experiment and see how it would work. So if I can't get any better at it, I might have to just put all my flasks into mana and see how we get on with that one, because. Yeah,
it's funny, isn't it? Because I feel like, on one hand you want to do it, on the other hand you kind of want to feel satisfied that you did it well.
I don't want to do it. I mean, if I'd have done it that time with him, I'd have found it amusing and funny that I did it and gone, right, okay, I can stop now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of them where it's like, it does start to taint it a little bit. But like I say, if I can't even get through the door without dying, what's the point?
Go through the window, Pab.
I know. I wish. So that is the Elden Ring update for this week. I imagine the same update will be next week. I'm still doing it. The other thing I've got is a recommend of the week. And it's a game called Thank Goodness You're Here. And I say you need to look this up and pretty much put it on a list to be looking at and probably purchasing.
I'll write it on my phone. I'll open a browser tab on it, and then at some point in the next 6 months, when I'm clearing down my browser tabs, I'll say,
this will be probably in my Game of the Year list.
What's it called? Thank Goodness You're Here.
Thank Goodness You're Here. It's from the publishers. It's from the publishers of Untitled Goose Game.
Ooh,
if that means anything.
Does it mean something?
Yeah. And it is a little bit like.
Why didn't they call it Thank Gooseness You're Here? Anyway, carry on.
It's not a goose in it. It's only published by them, so it's not made by the same people who did Goose Game. But it is a very, very northern British game where you are what are you? It's only a short game, so it's like I don't even remember what.
You're a little yellow person.
You're a little yellow person, yeah, and I can't remember what you are. I feel like you're sent to this town to go and have speak to the mayor basically, and I think it's is it
Reminded me
Farnsworth
of my
or something like
granddad.
that. Yeah,
What did you say?
I think it's called Farnsworth, the town you're in, or something like that. And it's in Yorkshire.
The company that made it are called Coal Supper.
Yeah, that's right.
Can be more
Yeah.
northern if they tried.
And you are this little fella, and you are wandering around this town, and it's just an experience to go around and do all stuff. It's so funny. It is an absolute very, very funny game that you need to, like I say, you need to experience this game. It's you can finish it in like what 2 to 3 hours. And I'm going to spoil something for you. It's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer. One of the voices in it is Matt Berry.
Oh, nice. That's a good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Hmm.
Not the easiest to spot either. It does a decent job of masking the Yorkshire accent, I suppose.
So I thought this was a joke at first, but I've seen him confirm it. You know, in Strictly Come Dancing, when it's like and in that tune, you hear someone go like, "Hey, that's Matt Berry."
All right. Okay.
I was like, "What the hell?"
Okay.
So random.
Well, there you go. There you go. I didn't know that.
I do wonder whether he's telling people that, like I tell people I was the baby from the Teletubbies, because how you going to prove it?
Yeah.
I mean, which is true. But yeah, no. I've seen him talk about it, and I was like, okay, that is mad. Very cool. Anyway, you think they'd have mentioned that? You think they'd have been like, oh yeah, theme tune sung by Matt Berry. But yeah, so it's,
I don't know. Anyway, so you're this guy, and you are going around this town, just helping people, and helping people is like pretty much like you have a D-pad to control, move around with the analog stick or whatever, and you have a jump button and a slap button. You just like slap things, and you just wander around, and you pretty much just give everyone a slap sort of thing. And they come up with some witty lines and stuff, and then occasionally you'll go into a shop and they're like, "Oh, I need this. Can you go and help me get this?" And you wander through, and you eventually just come across this thing that they're looking for. You take it back to them, they go, "Thanks very much," and off they go. And then there's a bit more dialogue goes on, and then you go on again, and then it's kind of like that. You just kind of wander through the world. There's like 3 or 4 like zones of the town that you go in, and you just kind of loop round them, just keep looping round them. These little town sections, and the police are here.
I was going to say it's been a while since I've heard Bolton PD behind your microphone.
That's because I normally mute it, but because I was talking, I decided not to. So you wander through this town sort of thing and interacting with these characters in the world, and just exploring it, and all the time it's just like witty gags, and there's a lot of innuendo in this game. A lot of innuendo and a lot of double entendres. It's a bit like a Carry On film in places. That's one for the younger audience there.
Yeah, no, that sounds cool then.
It's like the aesthetics. It looks to me. It reminds me a little bit of a mixture between like Monty Python sketch, like the cartoony aspects of Monty Python and like the Yellow Submarine kind of stuff from the Beatles. That's the kind of
they might be going for a bit of that because of the northernness. But the character, the people have a bit of a Gravity Falls kind of plump face. White eyes with black dots.
Yeah,
mustaches that look a bit Gravity Falls-ish as well.
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely worth the money. It's like, I think it's like 15 quid at the most. And it's on Steam and Switch.
So it's on Mac and Epic and PS4.
Yeah, imagine. Is it on PS4 as well? I didn't even know it was
5.
on. That doesn't surprise me, to be fair. But yeah, it's just one of them games that it's just a joy to play and just very funny all the time, and pretty much doesn't outstay its welcome sort of thing. It knows when it needs to get out, and it's like, "Yep, I'm done. That's it. We're done," and off you go. And yeah, there is a translation kind of thing in it. At the start of the game, it's like, like what game is it recently where it was like it did like a thing where it kind of translated the language for you. Was it the Still Wakes the Deep game where it was set in Scotland?
Oh, right, to
And
do that for Northerners as well, then.
yeah, it was like pretty much for Americans, I imagine, because the American audience wouldn't understand what was going on if there wasn't like a subtitles explaining what the person just said.
My mind immediately went to like they should have had Kev's map. What did he call it? In my head, I'm calling it the BAP map, where it's like, what do you call this piece of bread? And if you call it a cob or a bap or a bun or whatever, it helps him figure out where you're from. And he's got his line where it all changes and that.
Yeah,
that'd be quite cool. What do you call this? You pick the name and it says, right, you'll understand everything they say.
Yeah, exactly. But it is very much one of them where you would, like I say, I get it. I get what it is. I mean, I'm not from Yorkshire, but I get it. I understand.
You basically are.
I'm above Birmingham, so
yeah,
I get it. But yeah, it is very good and well worth the money and highly recommended. I think there's a good chance. How many games do we get in Game of the Year? 4? We get the vote. We vote for 4. Is it?
I mean, I tell you what, Pab. I mean, I annoy myself because I'm like, I want to play this, but I know full well I'll go off on my merry way and I'm about to have dinner and then I'll just not remember. But it would be quite funny if you and I had this in our lists. And that
I'm going to recommend it to. I'm going to recommend it to Kev and Anna next week as well. I'm going to say I'm not going to pretend because I know full well Kev and Anna aren't listening to this, so I can go over this game again next week. I'm petitioning.
The listeners are listening, so we don't. They don't want to hear it again.
It's a good point, but it's that good. It's well worth petitioning. Yeah, well there you go. I'll wait till you've played it then. Yeah, I can't speak highly enough about this game. It's been a joy for me to play this week. It came out last Thursday, so just after we recorded, we missed the cut-off last week.
New. Well,
yeah, so it is a week old at this point, but that's about it. And yeah, other than that is probably it from me for games wise, because I'm like I say, I've been down the Elden Ring rabbit hole trying to figure out how to do certain things and what have you, trying to do that and watching videos and wondering about this Shadow Realm, and having a laugh here and there. And obviously, like I say, Fortnite is still the thing that I play on the regular, like an hour or two a night. Like not all the time. I
very nearly played it when I saw it was installed, and it was like taking up so much of my space.
I can't tell you this.
Go on.
Fall Guys is in it now.
Everything's in it.
There's an actual Fall Guys mode in Fortnite now. It only came in yesterday or Tuesday, whenever it was. Yeah, Tuesday. I've not played it myself, but there is like just a huge Fall Guys map in like above in the sky. You can see it. So in theory, you could land on it and just have a battle up there at certain points. I don't know what goes on, why that's there exactly, but it is. So
maybe they're just buying up all the meme games. They'll get Among Us next.
They own that company who makes it. So yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't come sooner. To be fair, but yeah. Other than that, am I doing the outro now?
You might as well did the intro.
Okay, outro time, folks. Right.
Sure Kev does it this fluidly.
Oh no, exactly. This is why it's not Kev's. This is my show, not his. It's my show, damn it. Where are we at? You can follow us on Twitter, the show at Mgukpodcast, or you can follow me at Pab1986,
and you can follow me at RB6K.
We should be back next week.
Yeah, I think we're all here. I'm here. You're all here.
I was going to say you're here. I think Kev and Anna will be back next week. Kevin will have his PC set up with him. Anna will have her setup going, so we should be back next week, I think.
And a week after I'm away, so
there you go. Yeah. Sheepdog's on his mandatory 2 on, 1 off rota.
Yeah, that's what my contract was when you renegotiated me for another 12 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, have a good week.
Yep, thanks for listening, folks. Bye-bye. Bye.